Let me talk a bit more about what the difference is between feeling a feeling. So let's just take anger, for example. Feeling anger, which is sensations in your body, versus talking about the feeling of anger. So anger is an interesting one, and similar to shame, anger and shame are two feelings that we tend to not want to admit to. We seem to have a shame around them. Like we have shame around having shame, in particular around having anger. And so once you have shame about a feeling, it traps the first level feeling out of access from your sensation. You're tuning into it. So say you feel anger, and then you feel shame about your anger. Unless you recognize that there's a shame layer between you and your anger and feel the shame first, you have to go from the outside in, you can't get to the anger to feel it so that the sine curve can move through you to its completion. So that's an interesting nesting process that happens. Is we have a feeling, and then we have a meta feeling, a feeling about the first feeling. And that second order feeling, if we don't approach that and apprehend it first, we can't even access the one in the middle. So what I want to help us do right now is cultivate a somatic cartography of our feelings. Like how do we go about mapping out these sensations in our body and linking it to labels like shame or fear or anger. So as I said before, we rarely feel the feelings in our body of the physical sensations. We dodge them with mental narratives, which are stories that are custom built to avoid feeling the feelings. So how do you know when you're doing this? The trick is to learn to spot when you leave your body, when you leave those sensations, which is pretty much, for most of us, immediately. As soon as we, say, get angry, we start into a story about, if I say, how are you feeling right now? You'll either say you're angry, and here's why. I'm angry because, and you have a whole long narrative after that. You don't say to me, oh, I'm angry. I feel a tightness in my chest. I feel tingles across my face. I feel a hot red flash in my belly. That's what anger actually feels like for some people. Everyone has a different map of it in their body. For example, for me, anger always occurs as a tight, closed throat, like a suffocating feeling, and a nausea down the front of my chest, and a hollow feeling in my belly. And I've been tracking it for a while. Anger, whenever I feel those feelings, closed throat, nausea, hollow in my belly, I know anger is present. So what we tend to do is instead of feeling the feeling, we go into the story about the feeling. I'm angry because this guy cut me off in traffic, and I was late for work, and they did this, and she said that. And that's the clue that you've left your body, that you have a story. You have an explanation. You have a rant. You have a justification. Next time you're in an intense situation and you're having some feelings move through you, what I'd love you to do is to tune into your body instead of your mind where the narrative is being generated.